What is up, everyone? Welcome back to episode 3 of the Cage Lions podcast. I'm Michael, that's Ben. We're going to get it going for you today. We got a ton on the slate for today, including some NFL wrap up stuff, talking a little bit about our lives. We got all the gaming content as usual, and then touching with the MLB a little bit. Ben, how was your weekend?
Pretty solid. One of my best friends from back home came back from college, so watching football with him, getting back into working out, as we were kind of gym rats together. And once he went off to school, kind of was slacking in the gym. So now that he's back, get back on there. Start gaining some weight again.
For
It'd
sure,
be good.
love to
What
hear
about you?
that. My weekend was pretty good. I spent most of it at Target, as I'll talk about more later on. But yeah, just working 5 to 10 p.m., so not a bad gig. My buddy was on with me both nights, and we should not be allowed to work together, but the productivity was down, but the fun was up, so that's all we care about.
Yeah,
Let's
awesome,
get right into it. So wrapping up the NFL week 10, was it? I'm losing track. I think it was week 10.
dude. On like weeks like 8 through like
15,
14,
yeah.
15 are just like.
This is middle of the season.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I think the most important point of the weekend was DeAndre Hopkins making the Jordan ad and making the Hail Mary catch on the last play. Cardinals versus Bucks. Cards won at 32-10. What do you have about that?
So I actually have a pretty funny story. I didn't watch the end of that game. I was at home doing homework or studying or something. I was studying, and my buddy texted me. We're both big Josh Allen fans. Love the Bills, which is weird to like come from a Patriots fan, but Josh Allen's a great guy. And so he texts me. He's like, yo, like, what the fuck? Josh Allen game winner. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, that's great. Good for him. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder what the score was. So a few minutes later, like 10 minutes later, I'm like, okay, so like, what was the score? So I look it up and I'm like, what? Like, they lost? What happened?
Uh,
And so I like go on Twitter and DeAndre Hopkins is trending. I'm like, oh, like, did he get injured? Is he okay? So I click on some stuff and just see this ridiculous circus catch with like three defenders on him, and he just bitches everybody and just grabs that ball. Game over.
all the Hail Mary catches to me just make no sense. Like how does a defense blow it that bad? And I'm
Dude,
not criticizing a defense. I mean, DeAndre Hopkins arguably best receiver in the league right now, but
yeah.
oh my god, like I don't know.
I
It baffles me how any wide receiver makes that kind of
yeah.
catch.
I read something and it was like I think the Bills had it was either 30 or 50 million dollars on that coverage. Like the three DBs who were defending that catch,
Oh
it
my
was a
god.
combined 30 or it was either 30 or 50 million dollars. And like they couldn't stop DeAndre Hopkins. It was
That
insane.
that's absurd. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, D Hop deserves that kind of money, but
Yeah.
oh well. So, I my favorite game of the week was the Patriots taking on Baltimore on Sunday Night Football. What I would call
Ooh,
the upset
baby.
of the year.
Oh yeah.
Um so far. I mean we've had some good ones, but I would say this is the upset of the year. I just I when I go into these big games when we play the Kansas Cities and the Baltimores and like those kinds of teams, I'm like, if anyone's gonna give this team an L, it's gonna be us.
Yeah.
And you and I have both been saying it since it happened. If we have Cam versus the Chiefs, we win the game every day of the
Yeah,
week.
exactly.
The Chiefs shot themselves in the foot 80 times. We just need Brian Hoyer to knock out AFK, and we win that game. But that
Yep.
was week like 3.
Or we
So
just play Stidham that entire game. I think if we play Stidham the entire game, we might win that one too.
you think so? I think
Maybe.
I think it's a one
Definitely
possession game
can.
instead of two.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely less than 10 points. But I I mean, you couldn't see the field half the game because it was raining so hard. I was at work
Yeah,
for
there's
most
some
of this. Did you catch much
crazy
of it?
weather. Yeah, I watched basically the whole thing, and I just remember thinking throughout the entire game, like at first it was like, okay, like we're just gonna watch the Patriots, and like I'll confess, in the Patriots in the Pick'em league that I have with some friends, one person picked the Patriots, and it was not me. One person picked the Patriots, and so I'm watching it, and around like halftime, I'm like, wait a minute, we might win this game. And I
Yeah.
just I just kept thinking that the entire time. I'm like, we might win this game. and then it came down to it, and we did. It was crazy. It was a great win.
It was, I think, Bill Belichick said it the best, or it was either Cam or Bill that said it. He said, "We are a better team than what our record reflects. We are
Yeah,
too good of a team to reflect this kind of record." And so, I mean, even with like no receiving core, I think the offense is now just pound the fucking rock, dude.
yeah,
Like, let
seriously.
Damian Harris rush for 400 yards every game.
I'm fine with that.
Like, our
Let
offensive
let
line is
Jacoby Myers
stacked.
throw. Let Jacoby Myers start throwing touchdowns. He's a stud.
Yup. To
Dude is
like,
a stud.
it's crazy. And I thought it was just a very well-rounded game. It was a good game, from what I've seen, from what I've been able to catch. But I thought overall, this is the upset of the year.
Yeah, no, it was a great game, and I mean the Ravens didn't even play that bad. The Patriots just played like lights out Patriots football,
Right.
and I mean, it's so crazy. Jacoby Myers had he played really well last season, and then he just got kicked out of the game plan. Didn't get any more looks for
Yeah,
like the first 5 games of this season,
for sure.
and now he's a stud. Like I'm not saying that he's better than Edelman, but if we're gonna invest in the future, which is what like we should be doing, then I think Jacoby Myers should be wide receiver one, at least for now.
I think Jacoby Myers definitely. Whatever happened to Keel Harry? Is he just like not a player anymore?
He was on the field. I don't think he got any
When?
looks.
I think Cam's as Edelman was Brady's receiver. I think that Myers is Cam's receiver.
I love
I
that.
think it should. I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah,
here until it's over. But
we just
so
need we need a deep threat.
we
That's what
do
our
need a deep
receiving core
threat.
needs.
I mean, that was the one thing we were missing last year too. And then we got Antonio Brown for 11 days, and we were like, okay, that checks the rest of the boxes. But
That was such a beautiful game. Makes me so sad to think
what was that,
about.
43-0? Quick little shutout. Yeah. But speaking of Tom Brady, we'll kick it to Bucks versus Panthers. Tom Brady throwing for 4 total touchdowns. Ronald Jones a 98-yard touchdown run.
That was insane. Franchise record.
Derrick Henry's better.
Well, yeah, but it was still
Friendly
crazy.
reminder: Derrick Henry's still the king.
Yeah, I mean that game. It was great. So I had in my fantasy league, I just traded Russell Wilson for Tom Brady, Jarvis Landry, and I forget running back from some team, which might seem like a terrible trade, but my wide receiver core on my team was awful. And I literally just got rid of Russell Wilson before he started playing like not that great. And Tom Brady dropped like 30, 35 points for me. Tom Brady had an amazing game. I still love watching him because he play. It's like the same. Just watching
Right.
him play. Brady to Gronk.
It's
It
the
was
Brady.
electric.
It's the
I
Brady
can't
effect,
hate.
dude. Domination
I can't
follows.
hate watching that.
No, for sure. I think that, well, I'm not thrilled that he's playing for another team or being successful in another team. Like,
Yeah.
last year was just an off year for him. That's all I have to say about
He had
that.
no weapons.
I still don't think he was worth $30 million. I stand by that. I don't think that it would have been in the Patriots' best interest to sign him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I would say we got the best free agent quarterback on the market in Cam Newton, and he seems to really be growing into his own. And
Yeah.
so,
Every week.
yeah, every week
Getting better.
we see flashes of greatness, and they're getting more and more frequent. And I think that if we sign him to like a 2-3 year deal after this year, that I think we're setting ourselves up for at least contention. I'm
And the
not
thing
saying
is,
we're winning Super Bowls. I'm
yeah,
just saying we're going to be
we'll be
contenders. We
there.
could make some noise.
And he just so quickly bought into the Patriot way, which I think a lot of people were nervous about, was a quarterback as like
Right.
not eccentric. Well, kind of eccentric as Cam, like his weird sense of fashion, his weird
Right.
like Instagram captions, the weird way he types.
Like, how
But
would Bill
he's so
react to that?
quickly, yeah, and it's been great so far. Like the interactions I've seen, like mic'd up with him and Bill on the sideline, they're getting along great. And
Yeah,
he
for
knows
sure.
that the only thing that matters to Patriots fans and New England in general is just winning.
Just winning,
And he knows
grabbing
that. And
dubs.
he's in. He's all in. So
Yeah.
yeah, fuck yeah.
I
Sign that man.
I was here for Cam since day one. I have a jersey in the mail for Cam Newton right now, but I've been all about it. And I think
Yeah.
that we see all these all these flashy players. Like if Odell came to the Patriots, which people have been talking about for like a year and a half, when's that happening? If he came to the Patriots, he would instantly shut up and play. He would
Yeah,
not
I agree.
complain, and because people know the second you do that, Bill doesn't stand for that shit. He would be out.
Yeah.
We don't care if we cut him, or we would trade him for
And
a fourth round pick, but we
I
don't
think that's
want someone's here.
yeah, that's the problem with that he was having in Cleveland. I think was the culture was just too different.
Right.
Like he went from the Giants culture, which wasn't great, to the Browns culture, which was like in rebuild, but it just wasn't there for him. And I mean,
Right.
I love that team. Like it's fun to watch Baker Mayfield and Odell play, but it's also kind of sad because you feel like Odell's wasting his
Right.
prime.
I feel like Odell's wasting his prime, and that's why everyone's calling for him to come to New England because we need a deep threat. Odell's a deep threat, and he's in his prime, and we have a team that just needs some receivers, and we're up there with the top team in the NFL.
Yeah, exactly.
We can give it to the Baltimores and the Kansas Cities of the world, but
I agree.
we'll just have to see.
We will.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
the
got
slates of games are pretty good this week.
yeah, except I'm pissed because this is why we're recording late. Is we are like, oh yeah, we'll watch Monday Night Football. It'll hopefully be a good game, and then we can talk about that shit show. It was not a good game.
No, it
So
was not good.
yeah, makes us feel kind of bad about waiting to upload. But great Thursday night game this week.
Really
Great
good
Thursday
Thursday
night
night.
game.
Really
I'm
good
very
Thursday
excited for
night.
that.
Yeah, me too. Who do we got in that one?
Seattle, Arizona, I believe.
that's absolute electric factory. I can't wait for
Yeah.
that one.
I feel like
Um,
Thursday night football is either like a shit show or one of the best games of the week. Like
I
there's no in between.
I feel like that's been a lot of primetime games,
Yeah.
but I mean like Patriots Ravens one of the best games of the week. Not a
Great team.
blowout, competitive. Our team came out on
Fun
top.
football. Yeah, love to see it. Everything I like to see in football.
Yeah. So, in case you guys are wondering why we're not uploading consistently or at the same time every 2 days or something like that, it's because our school, UMass, is in finals week in a couple weeks. This is our last week of classes when you hear this on the 17th. And so we've been under, I would say, some stress.
I don't know what the
So,
hell's going
some
on.
late nights, some early mornings, and everything in between. We've just been trying our best, so it's gonna get more consistent, we promise. But
Especially once we're on campus.
yes,
But
once we get on campus, we're hoping to have a camera to record in person, like in the same room. Be able to get
we're
some more
next to each
guests
other.
on. What's up?
We finalized our rooming and it was just a bitch to have a roommate. You have to get stuck in like some
Yeah,
terrible room assignment and it just didn't make sense. So we are actually next to each other, which is dope. We double the
double
space,
space.
It'll be
There it
great.
is. I'm kind of
We'll
hyped
just
for
be
it. Not
in
kind
and
of
out.
hyped. I'm really hyped for it.
I'm super hyped. And the
So
people seem great.
yeah.
It's gonna be good.
So tell me a little bit what you got going on for the weekend or for the winter. What you got going on for winter break? Any job? Any just
Yeah,
chilling,
so
prepping?
I actually recently got an acting gig, which is super random, and I never really um did anything to deserve it. Except one of my friends, I met her dad at a party, and turns out he's like writing a TV show, and he liked me and thought I would be good for one of the roles.
Damn.
So that is what I'm going to be doing.
Ooh.
Um, I literally don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm allowed to like say too much, but I do think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great
That's
experience,
gonna be great.
and yeah. So we're starting recording or filming, not recording. It's not a podcast. Started filming after Thanksgiving, and that'll probably take up a decent amount of my time. But I'll probably be shoveling snow. My family has a landscaping company, and so they do snow removal in the winter. So that's gonna be some early mornings,
Yeah, sir.
4 or 5 a.m. shoveling snow.
Yep.
Good work, honest work. You feel good
Now, can you put
after
the
a
hot
day there.
chocolate from Dunkin' on the company card?
I think so. I think that's a write off.
Right off, I would
Hell
say.
yeah, baby.
Hell yeah.
Seriously. What
I
about you?
I have been so I got a job at Target back in May. I do a lot of stock. I'm just on the sales floor. Um, so thus we have entered quarter four of the retail stores, the witching hour.
Nightmare.
I am scheduled to work Black Friday in the afternoon until the night at my store, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know what it's gonna look like, especially this year. It's not gonna look like a legit Black Friday per se. But I don't need the work. I want the money. I need something to do. Otherwise, I'm
Keep
gonna
you out of
board
trouble.
myself. Yeah, keep me out of trouble. Stop myself from boring myself into oblivion and playing Destiny for 20 hours a day. Um,
Slippery
but
slope.
yeah, very slippery slope. You play for 2 hours and all of a sudden it's 8 p.m.
Yep.
Um, but I'm super excited for it because the store I work at's great. The pay is really good. I'm hoping to use at least some of the money to pay for like dorm stuff and then buy like a camera to do vlogs and stuff on. Just something basic, but should be a good time.
Yeah.
And other
So
than that,
we
just
got
prepping.
prepping for we gotta start making lists.
Check it
We'll
twice.
we'll be organized. Yeah, check it twice. Get a bunch of shit for the dorm.
Yeah,
That'd be cool. Posters, LED lights, all that jazz.
yeah.
Whatever the cool kids are doing.
I completely forgot about the whole LED lights thing. I was like,
Yeah, I never got them. I don't know.
I had them on my old desk for a little while, but the adhesive is just so bad,
Yeah,
so I never really used them or whatever. But
get like Instagram ads from all the time. And
yeah,
it's like I'm not a TikToker. I don't know if I need them, but they sound cool. Everybody has them.
yeah, for sure. All right, so let's get it into some of the gaming news. So, like we said last Thursday, that Season of the Hunt Beyond Light has come out and been released.
Woo.
The seasonal activity has dropped today, along with a new exotic stasis grenade launcher. I heard it's busted. I heard you can one tap every raid boss with it. I saw
Whoa,
Glad and some of his friends do it, and they one tapped Morgith with stasis.
that's ridiculous.
So, I mean, it's obviously a bug. It's obviously not intended to do that much damage, but
Yeah,
apparently you can one bang every single raid boss. One tapping Riven, world's fastest Riven, kill anyone?
that would be badass.
Bro,
Yeah, no.
getting to
So
Sanctified, that'd be cracked. In Garden? That'd be
I
nuts!
yeah, I still haven't really ventured too far off the beaten path of just leveling
Yeah,
and
same
doing
here.
shit like that. So like I haven't been doing any of the crazy quests. I kind of do them as needed. So like if shit overlaps, then I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I've just been doing my weeklies, trying to level up. I haven't really explored any of this stuff because I'm not playing for 20 hours a day. I'm playing
Right.
for maybe two or
We are
three.
not
So
the Glads of the world, unfortunately. Which
no,
I think, I mean, so this is my next point that I'm going to make. A little bit of a, is the game too easy kind of thing.
yeah,
Because I go back and I watch videos about the first Destiny, because I never really played it. I know you played the shit out of it, but I never
favorite
really,
game of all time.
I never played the first one. But from what I understand, it's hard as balls.
It was a
And it
grind.
was difficult and it was a
Yeah.
grind. And that was what I started playing the game for.
hmm
And so I guess my question to you is, do you think the game right now is too easy?
I do
For what it
honestly.
is, relatively speaking.
Yeah. So Destiny 1 was it was really hard to level up, but the reward, like once you were that highest level, everything, it wasn't easy, but it was like doable. It was almost impossible if you were under leveled, but once you kept working up, like you could do it. Nowadays, even if you're under leveled, it's like almost too easy. And leveling up, like the soft cap doesn't really exist. I'm still getting drops like well above, like blue drops well above my light, and it just feels like I'm speed running it. Like
Right.
I don't know. I expected. I'm not too upset because it means that like trials is gonna be like I'm gonna be leveled up for that and stuff. But I thought it was gonna be a lot more grindy,
Me
for
too.
better or worse.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was going to be a big question that I have and that many other Destiny players have, hardcore or casual. Where's the loot? Like maybe it's going to come from the seasonal event that we have yet to play or see, but where's the loot, man? Like Last season
Yeah.
was great because there was so much loot you could grind for, and that's obviously like that's a whole year worth of weapons and armor. But where's the loot? Give me the
Yeah.
opportunity to farm for every kind of weapon. And
Seriously, they
so
announced so many exotics and so much new shit, and it's just like
and it,
I
it
haven't
would
I
it would bum me
haven't
out
seen
if none of
anything
those
to
are
it.
world drops and they're all quests.
Yeah,
Like
that
that
would
would stink.
suck.
That'd be terrible. But
It would be a grind, but
it would definitely be a grind. And I
I mean,
mean,
I definitely think Hawkmoon should be a quest, like a nostalgic,
yeah.
cool
Well,
one,
that's the
but
thing.
for
Like
most of
like
them,
the exotics from the first Destiny that are coming on back. Like I'm perfectly okay with every single one of those being a quest. Like Monte Carlo
yeah,
was a world drop, and I maybe it should have been a quest, but I have it. I randomly got it.
yeah,
I
still
know it took some
good enough.
people 11 months to get it
Yes.
after it came out, but I don't know. I agree with you. The game is too easy right now. Because,
Yeah,
I mean, I hear streamers talking about how they're gonna be able to, like, one phase the boss. I hope not.
that's, like, not
I
cool.
hope it's a mechanics forward raid. Like Last
Mhm,
Wish. One of the
yeah,
one of the mechanics was not even like DPSing like a boss. It was opening the vault, and that was the hardest part of that raid.
yeah, which is that brings it back to, um, Destiny 1 raids. It wasn't about you didn't have to do crazy amounts of DPS during damage phases as long as you were technically like, you knew the technical like, how to do it.
Right.
You could take as many phases as you want as long as you, like, completed it, you know? You had more than enough time as long as you were perfect
For sure.
on the steps to get to the damage phase, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't matter if you weren't doing, like, millions of damage.
Right. I think that it's going to be super important. It's going to be a huge statement for Destiny if you make a raid more like Last Wish and less like Scourge of the Past. Scourge of the Past took
Yeah,
2 hours to get a world's first,
that's, like,
and like
pathetic.
speed runs are like sub 6 minutes.
That's
Was like the
insane.
fastest one. So I think that in terms of getting like a good midpoint for a raid, the world's first I would hope takes anywhere from 12 to 18 hours. I think for Garden of Salvation it was like 8, 8 to 10, which is fine. I mean, that's cool. But
Do you know any of
again,
the Destiny 1 ones? How long those took?
I think Vault of Glass was the longest at 18
I think
hours.
some of them, yeah, took, like,
I know a lot
long.
of them were in the 12 to 18 hour range.
Yeah.
And I
I
look
mean,
back on the first
Proto
Destiny and
Brotherhood
I'm
was
like,
long.
the graphics in this game are horribly bad compared to the second one, but
Yeah,
this game looks sick. I was
that's
like,
pretty
where
awesome.
was this game for me?
Yeah,
So
it's bad.
it seemed like a great game from a standpoint of an OG player.
Kinda opened me up into, like, the world of gaming, you know, before that,
Yeah,
I just played, like, 2K, like, and then
I
out
was
of the
a
blue is
Call of Duty
Destiny.
kid.
Yeah.
I've done FPS my entire life. I started at Call of Duty in the first and second Black Ops, and then I found Titanfall, and then I played that until Overwatch came out, and then Overwatch was what really opened me up to gaming, and that's when I built a computer and started streaming and doing all that stuff. So I
Yeah.
mean, I that's where I credit all my gaming to. So for you it's Destiny, for me it's Overwatch, but I've been FPS my entire life.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't do sports games; they make me rage.
I feel that.
So I think something that happened really recently, like an hour ago recently, that I really want to talk about is 100 Thieves in the last 24 hours has signed like 8 people, and they're growing as like a content organization, but they're also like making their esports scene known. So for LCS, they just signed Closer and FBI, and I don't really follow LCS that much, but of course I follow 100 Thieves, and Closer is apparently cracked out. Apparently he's really good, going to make a lot of
Yeah.
noise, and I'm really excited about that. Because the more exposure 100 Thieves gets in LCS, the better the company does as a whole, and it catalyzes into itself, obviously.
Yeah.
Do you think that franchise gaming leagues are good or bad for the industry? Because if you look back on like Black Ops 2 lands, do you think that gaming should have been like or should have stayed um de deregulated, or do you think that, franchising and stuff like that is good?
Um, I kinda miss the simplicity of old
Yeah.
gaming. Like, you know, FaZe would have, like, 1 team, and, like, Optic would have 1 team, and it would just be, like, a group of like friends that knew each other from high school and were all cracked out at video games and started playing
Right.
together. Now, I mean, it probably wasn't sustainable to be so underground like that, and it
Yeah.
probably is good for the gaming industry what's happening, but it's just so fucking confusing. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
It's not like it's not like there's one league and like you play for a championship. I think that would be great, but it's like the Overwatch League. I know it's not the pinnacle of like Overwatch playing, but Boston Uprising, we suck.
We
Um,
do.
but like how they did it, like that would be badass if like Boston had like a Call of Duty team,
Yeah.
and maybe not even like states, just like different teams playing for like one world championship, other than like somebody can say they're like the DreamHack champion and another
Yeah,
person's
for
like
sure.
some
I think also
invitational.
see it like it's like an esport as global as Counter Strike is. It's so confusing. But I think
It doesn't make any
but
sense.
I think I like how decentralized CS esports are because it makes it so that up and coming teams, like the groups of friends from high school that are just all cracked out at the game and want to compete, it makes it so that those kinds of teams have an opportunity. And so
Yeah.
like for me, I know I'm a really good Call of Duty player. And if I grinded the shit out of the new Call of Duty, if I found a Call of Duty I really liked and just wanted to grind and make my way to a competitive team, I don't feel like I have as much of an opportunity to do that. So I
Yeah.
agree with you on the fact that, the simplicity of it all would be great, being able to go to LANs and just get gassed up about 128 team brackets.
Mhm.
But I think that league play is good in terms of bringing it to the mainstream.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think our last gaming topic of the day is the biggest one. Last week, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 have both launched. I'm an
Woo.
Xbox guy. I know you're a PlayStation
I'm a
guy.
PlayStation guy.
That's just what we grew up on. The console war is over.
There is no console
There
war.
is no console war. Um, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say on the consoles right now, rather
Dude,
than I think it's ridiculous.
the day it dropped, I was on the Walmart website probably for like a combined 4 hours just because they dropped it. So they dropped it at noon, and then they did another drop at 3, and then they did another drop at 6, and they did another drop at 9.
Yep,
And I had my PC, my laptop, and my phone all refreshing. I had it in the cart checking out like 3 different times,
that's
and then the
annoying.
website would just crash and then be like, "Sorry, you didn't get it." Who the hell did get it then? Like, why did their website not crash? Why
Oh,
was it like
it's
it was
bots,
bullshit.
man. They just hit it. This is my biggest frustration with everything during quarantine because I got my Switch back in June as a graduation gift, and so once I decided I wanted to get a Switch, I couldn't find one anywhere because
Yeah,
they were reselling on eBay for $600. And so that forced me to use the same tactics they do, except buy one for me and not buy, the entire stock for selling on eBay to put in
yeah.
a tower. And so we're seeing the exact same thing with the PlayStation and the Xbox. And I think that I don't think that COVID has a big impact on it. I really don't.
That's
I
what they're saying is like they're not mass releasing in stores
I mean,
because of
it
that.
makes sense. It makes sense that they wouldn't release these like as a mass release and not have like tons and tons of them like you would on a regular Black Friday.
Yeah,
But and I don't know anything about Target's Black Friday situation. I go in twice a week, so but I don't know, man. Why is a $300 console in the Xbox Series S selling for over $1,000 on eBay?
it's crazy.
It's
People
not
literally
right. It's
can't
price
wait
gouging.
like literally a week. Like they're gonna re-release. They're re-releasing them before Black Friday,
Right.
and then
And then
Black Friday.
I guarantee you my store is going to have a ton on Black Friday.
Yeah,
I mean, from what I think, I don't know anything, but
yeah. I'm getting. I saw what me
and
and my
I'll
friends
just
were
wait
doing.
until January and buy one.
Yeah,
Like
no,
I don't
no,
need an
yeah,
Xbox, but if I want
no.
one, I'll just wait until January to buy one.
Yeah, so me and my friends, what we're doing is if we don't get one, they're doing a drop, I think Thanksgiving night, or maybe the day before Thanksgiving night. One
Hmm.
of those days they're doing another drop. And so if we can't get it then, we're literally gonna camp out at GameStop. Like get there at
Bring
like
it back to the Black Ops 2
3 a.m.
days.
Yep,
Hell yeah, dude.
seriously. Like
I
actually going back to those days.
but that's so sick. Like I wish I could do that. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have any reason to. It's to me, it'd be sitting out in the cold for 5 hours when I don't really use a console anymore.
Yeah.
But I respect the hell out of that, and that sounds like a great time.
It's gonna be fun. It's
Having
not
like
it's
Red
not
Bull
even
and Mountain Dew
yeah.
with the boys.
It's not even just to like try to get the console. It'll just be like a fun thing to do with some boys, you
Right.
know?
It honestly to me just sounds like a great time. But
Yeah. Hopefully we get them and we don't
yeah,
get COVID, you know? We're gonna mask up, boys. Don't
mask
worry.
up, wear your masks, please.
Yeah.
But
You don't need us to
I
tell you, but we will.
true. I wish that they did release a little more, and maybe COVID impacted manufacturing. Maybe I'm completely wrong about this whole thing, but I don't like. I think the age of scalping and like reselling has become so big in such a way for so many people to make money that they're just doing it at any cost. I know one of my buddies is could live off of reselling alone right now. He's our age, but he could make a yearly income off of reselling because of all the bots and all the cook groups and the Discord servers. It's an underground industry, man. It's
It's kind of cool.
it is kind of cool, and I've looked at it before. I've looked at doing it before, but oh my goodness,
High risk, high reward.
very high risk, very high reward indeed. So
Yeah. That's the thing with like some shoes. You buy them when they drop at like $500, and then it turns out that they dropped a lot, and people don't want to buy them for $750. You know, it's like
great,
it's a
and they just
gamble.
dropped five hundred
It's a
dollars on a
gamble.
pair of shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think to wrap it up, we have a little bit of baseball news coming in the last couple days. Today,
Yeah.
Theo Epstein resigned as the GM of the Cubs. That was a big shock to me.
Yeah, it's
It
kind of out of the blue.
I don't know any. There hasn't really been any controversy or anything. He just kind of said I'm done, which I guess I respect it. Got his world championship. One that's not really on the way anytime soon for the Cubs.
Yeah.
So, with the Dodgers in the NL at least.
I mean, it was just kind of surprising, you know? Like, yeah, nobody really saw it coming, and it's not like there was a huge scandal he was involved in,
Right?
but
I don't know.
he made his money and he's done. I respect it.
Respect the hell out of that. And then we got some Padres news. Give it to him.
Yes, sir. So the Padres re-signed Clevenger. I think it was like a 2-year deal,
2 year, 11 and a
but
half mil.
the catch is he's going to be out for the entirety of this season because he's getting Tommy John.
Ouch! His second of his career. That's like
Kind of
so.
crazy.
That's tough. That's really
Yeah.
tough.
I mean, I do think he's fine with it because the Padres are saying like we're gonna make the investment. You can get the surgery and like you're still signed to. He's like gonna make like what $5.5 million
It's
recovering.
an $11.5 million contract, so I think 5.75.
Yes, he's gonna make $5.75 million recovering, and then hopefully it pays off the following year.
I mean, he was pretty good this year. He kind of tore it up.
Yeah, he did. Dope
So
hair too. Seems like
yeah,
a good fit
very
for the
dope
Padres.
hair. Yeah, I think that. I mean, again, we say this time and time again. Padres are an electric factory. Young team, electric factory.
Love to watch him.
It's fun to. They're a fun to watch team. They might not be the best, but they're fun to watch. And I think that's. I think the Red Sox are going to be kind of like that next year. This
I'm
is
fine
this
with
is kind
that.
of a hot take. The Red Sox may not be the best team, but they're sure as hell going to be a fun team
Yeah,
because Mookie Betts. It happened. Whatever. We have to move on at some point.
I
And
agree.
so it's going to be a lot of fun to see how Verdugo taking on a leadership role in the team. Maybe getting another fun outfielder. I would be okay getting Michael Brantley or George Springer in the outfield as
Yeah,
well. Two
I
great
mean,
players.
yeah, it'll be an interesting season. We got Alex Corbach, so I
Thank
have
God.
high hopes.
Yeah,
I have
I
high
think
hopes,
I have
mid
medium hopes.
expectations.
I'm
Yeah,
okay. High hopes, medium expectation. That's pretty good.
yeah,
I think I have medium hopes, medium low expectations.
yeah,
I don't think we're gonna make it to the playoffs, but I think we'll get close. I think
yeah.
it'll depend on how the Blue Jays do. Yankees are still gonna be pretty good, but choke in the DS.
Losers.
Losers. All right.
Can't choke if you don't make the playoffs, baby.
True. All right. I think that'll do it for this one.
Yeah,
Make sure you guys follow the Twitter at Caged Lions Pod. We are gonna be posting there a little bit more. And I think that'll do it for me. Any last words?
Yeah, we'll probably keep saying it every time. If you got any ideas, stupid, fun challenges, like we're bored, man. We want
Yeah,
stuff to do. Give us stuff to do, please.
we're
Seriously.
locked up.
Yeah,
But yeah,
make it fun. We'll
all
make it
right.
fun.
Next episode will be out on Thursday. Until then, we will catch you guys next time. Be sure to drop a comment on what you want us to see next, and we will catch you on Thursday.
Much love, guys.